And obviously, without my pencil, where's my pencil? Without the pencil, I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. Where is my pencil? Sorry, I don't have my pencil. I'm desperate. Okay, I need it. Oh, no, it's here. Ha! Finally. I'm Michele De Lucchi. I'm here in Milan. I'm an architect, designer, a photographer, writer, artist. In reality, I don't know what I do and which is my profession, but I love to stay in this planet in this moment. Ferrara is a city around Venice, and Venice, the culture of Venice was very important in the area where I was born. But I went to study in Florence, and Florence is another important Italian city. I will say that I've been born with the Italian mentality, and the Italian mentality, as you know, is continuously bridging between Renaissance and Italian history, Roman time, and so on, and avant-garde and future. So I'm always in the middle of the bridge between the past and the future. My house was a very big house because my parents they generated 8 children, 8, all men, and I am the oldest. I am the oldest together with my twin brother because I'm a twin. The reason why I have such a beard because me and my twin, we are so identical that nobody can recognize me on him just by face. So I grew my beard, and so now I'm totally different from my twin brother. Yes, he's an artist, he's a painter, and we always talk each other about what we think should be our role in the society, in the world of today, in this such difficult topic as is sustainability in the world today. I will say that this condition to make me different from my twin brother has been my first project. In some way, when I design something, I always try to design something different. The difference between what exists and what is going to exist is fundamental. There is no reason to design if you do not want to optimize the world, if you don't want to create a better condition, if you don't want to do a contribution to a better world for the next generation. I think that if you wanted to design for the world, you have to know the world. You have to travel. You have not to travel only flying here and there, but you have to travel with your mind and to understand the other people. If you don't understand how the world is reacting to all the possible events, you cannot design for the world. There is no way you will design for your friends maybe, or for your family, but you do not design for the world. Oh yes, I'm a writer. I have a very I have a lot of followers in a review. Review is a kind of magazine in which we send a newsletter around the world. Every week I write my thoughts, my reflections. I'm a painter. I draw. I'm a sculptor. I am a photographer. My Instagram is very well known, and even I enjoy to pick pictures and to elaborate them. For sure, Memphis was very important because was just at the beginning. I was neither 30 at the time. I was 28 years old, and I was just coming out from the school, from university. It was my first approach to reality, to the professional scene in the world. And what I understood there is that you do not have to be shy. You have to be. I'm a shy by psychological condition. So uh, I understood that in some way, if you want that people accept and listen to what you say, you have to be a bit stronger than not the normal sound of the world, the normal sound of life. In some way, you have to be a little aggressive, a little intellectually aggressive, not physically aggressive, obviously. But in some way, irony is fundamental. I remember very much that we were very much arguing, discussing, because when you have to face something that is new, something that is not already there, fully understood. In some way, you need to be aggressive. But this aggression is not an aggression just to be nasty, just to, but it's an aggression just to understand better. I believe very much in neuroscience. In neuroscience, they say that if you are optimistic, you transmit positive energy to your cells. And I want my cells to survive as much as possible. I know that when you put ISMA, that topic is done. That means I prefer to work in something that has not been yet, more than not in something that has been already understood and packaged. I'm continuously taking breaks. I meditate since many years, 1 hour a day, and this hour a day for me is fundamental. I cannot live without this hour for myself. I try to avoid nightmares, but yes, obviously it's not possible. I try always to have a special relation with my clients, because I believe that the most important client that I have is is the guy that gives me the maximum of nightmares, and is myself. The most important clients, I think, for every designer, for every architect, for everything, everybody that is involved in creation is yourself. I cannot survive without my pocket paper. Pocket paper is just paper, as you see here. It's just paper. It's just A4. The printer paper sheet, and I cut in 4 parts and I put in the pocket. is always full of drawings. And if I am without paper, and obviously without my pencil, where my pencil? Okay, I need to get, oh, no, it's here. Ha! Finally, fine. This is very important. This is my pencil, and this pencil is a gift of a patriarch. In Italian, we have a risotto. Risotto is a kind of a combination of rice, vegetables, yes, also mushrooms. In this season, we have wonderful mushrooms. I cook a risotto ai funghi. That means mushrooms risotto. Harry Potter, partly because of the book, partly because of the movies, is always in this scene of medieval English buildings, and this medieval scenography was too much overwhelming the idea of Harry Potter. So they asked me, do you think that it's possible to create a modern, contemporary-driven idea of architecture that can fit with the magician of Harry Potter? And I said, well, I will try. And I invited all my collaborators here in Milan to give me a selection of design of buildings that we did, a selection of buildings that could fit with the idea of Harry Potter. You know what is wonderful, because it grows and they become trees. It's always helpful. You have never a reason to throw away a piece of wood, and wood, they never produce waste. I love wood. I strongly believe that wood is the material of the future. I'm always working with the chainsaw, but I especially do dummy model with the chainsaw, because with the chainsaw is a very, is a very safe tool, and the chainsaw is a very simple tool. You drive with your hands. It's not a machine where you go and you put the piece of wood. You can carve the book. And yes, to transmit identity to what you do is fundamental for an architect and designer. A part of the pictures that I do by myself for Instagram, where I live, this village where I live, and the most intimate part of my house, these are not in internet. And I keep, I'm very careful, even when I shoot pictures at home, not to show too much of my private life. To be curious to know the world, to be curious to see how things happen, and how people behave with chair, tables, environment, rooms. We have a very big responsibility how people use what we do, and that's for me is very important. And I always check if my collaborators, they are responsible, they feel responsible for what they do. Broccoli. I love very much red wine, but recently I have some problem to digest red wine, so I drink white wine. Sheep cheese, spaghetti, obvious. I have to tell you that I'm very close friend of a Japanese tailor, Mr. Issei Miyake, and since many years, since the time of Memphis, I'm using Issei Miyake clothes, and very often he give me for free. Is a gift that he does every time I go to visit him. But most of the time I also choose by myself. And yes, this is my favorite way of. If I don't have Issei clothes, I feel a little bit out of myself. I'm writing my autobiography. I'm writing, and it's called Personal Learnings. Personal learnings, I think, is the best way I can express my gratitude for the people that came to me to learn something by me, because teaching is learning. By myself, I struggle to keep myself updated with technology, and I believe that we need to keep in touch with technology, but obviously not to be a slave of technology. That's to be a slave in any case is never a good condition. I put my finger in the nose. As I told you, meditation is fundamental, and this is charging me. I do half an hour in the morning, half an hour in the evening. This is charging very much. Time by time, I'm really frustrated by the idea that if we do too much, we use too much resources, we use too much energy, we are stealing resources from other people and stealing resources from the planet itself. That is struggling me, and this is what I'm working as much as I can to understand how we can guarantee the evolution of humanity and the survival of the planet. This sounds very much as a psychological investigation, but I will say in the book because I love trees. Lamps I love because I love the light, and especially to make light visible. Both fundamental, both. Living in the moment with a responsibility. What we don't know, the trouble, the difficulty we have to use the difference of understanding, not to grow, but to fight, to be frightened, dynamicity, that means livefulness, to envision a better future, fluidity, past, present, the present after the present of today. The role of humanity today is to unpackage a more positive future. We have too much dramatic visions of the future, obviously, because we have big troubles for climate sustainability. We have big trouble for climate change, for sea level that is going up. We have dramatic reason. We have really dramatic visions for the future because we are We have dramatic crisis in front of us, but we will not face the future if we have only dramatic visions. We need happy imagination for an happier future.